So the third area, of course, that we need to look at is the knowledge sharing. And again, looking at the three areas. When I think of when we look at the numbers, and I hope Harriet is not looking at these numbers, we acknowledge that we've not done a very good job in terms of documenting our own story. And so sometimes when we're sharing with Harriet, she's like, I don't know about that number and everything. So we need to do a better job ourselves of getting these numbers out there, because I think when we talk, our numbers don't quite yet reflect our talk. So we acknowledge we have a weakness in that area, but we're going to do much better in there. So we are producing the MKits, but also what we are doing is demonstrating the use of the MKits by conducting training sessions primarily using the MKits. So for example, we've done design thinking training, and we use design thinking MKits that had been produced by Stanford as our tool to guide us through the process. Also, what we did is we launched and hosted an MKits challenge, where we invited the community, primarily students, to submit short videos of various development challenges, and we had some very interesting submissions provided to us, which we can use as stories to show what's happening in the communities. Key setbacks. One is that, of course, we expected our innovators to be ready to run with us in terms of using MKits to document their journey, so we have to really look at that. The other thing is that we're producing these MKits, but in terms of assessing their use, number one, because it's on YouTube, that we have this available, and also the impact of that, so we need to get better in terms of how we assess this. Because if you go to YouTube, and I think if you're on the site for maybe a second or so, it's going to count you as a view, right? But you may just look at the title and then go away, right? So this is why we say the challenge in assessing. So we're going to give you some numbers, but deep down we know that, okay, maybe, it's not exactly representative, but it's a good picture. We also have challenges in terms of the platform that we're using, YouTube. At least in Makerere University, during the daytime, students don't have access to YouTube. All right, so it's just done by it's by choice in terms of managing our bandwidth. And as I said earlier, we had this expectation that the innovators would be able to do the MKits themselves. We realized they can't. So we have Boyd supporting us, but he's one person, and we have very, very many innovators. So this is one of the issues that we have to deal with. But going forward, we therefore need to build more capacity in terms of developing the MKits, and also in order to enhance access, but also to spread ourselves far and wide as possible, is to use the MKits themselves to build capacity in the various areas that we need to get that done. So in wrapping up some of the lessons we've learned, one, we've learned so much from Stanford in terms of the innovation tools. And it's one thing to preach the gospel and tell people, okay, these are the steps you have to do. But we've had to learn to also use the tools ourselves in order to come up with innovations. And so, for example, the CREED process is what we use when we're developing the Ebola proposal that won for the Ebola 10. So that's something we've taken. The other lesson that we've learned is really we need to look and try and do as much outreach as we can in terms of resource multiplication. There's so many projects walking through that door, and even more that we cannot handle. And some we have had to block off this week and say, sorry, we're this side. But for sure, we are not going to be able to fund all of that. So how can we actually, resources, both in time, finances, technical support, because some of them come through and they really have great ideas, but thinking of who would be the best person, and is that person actually available to mentor them? So these are the various resources that we are speaking about. We need to understand, they appreciate the concept of impact potential, because I think for a long time we were sort of going in a frenzy, looking at, okay, the impact, what will we show? But actually what is more important is to lay the foundation from day zero, so that even if in 2 years we don't have the full impact we expect to see, we've actually had a very, very firm foundation going forward, not a foundation of sand, which will not pilot and scale. And lastly, we really believe in the power of MKits to spread our message and also to spread the opportunities for capacity building. So we need further sensitization on the use of MKits, so the development and the use of the MKits.